when he was committed editor in Philadelphia. I worked with him when he was a driven editor in Charlotte. I had a chance to compete with him when he published the Miami Herald on his arrival here in 1989. But David Lawrence Jr. beat the rush out the doors of the big daily newspapers in 1999 and found a new and probably more rewarding second career as president of the Early Childhood Initiative Foundation. There he blazed a trail, making sure the children start life on the right foot to success by being prepared for school achievements. In 2002, he led the campaign for the Children's Trust, a dedicated source of early intervention and prevention funding for the children of Miami-Dade County. His long list of honors includes the Cuban American National Council's Lifetime Achievement Award. A Miami legend, David Lawrence Jr.
First of all, I'm a Miami today, so I thank you for that. Number two, I'm in the fortunate position that I love my wife Roberta more than we were married 50 years this December. Number three, like all of you, I feel blessed to be part of this community. Thank you very much.
Successful businessman in venture capital. He was co-founder and CEO of Analog Devices. He's been a professor at top universities. But we know Mitch Bigney best for 23 years as president of Florida International University, building infrastructure and breadth, including medical and law schools, while growing its status in research, as well as being the alma mater of a large number of Miami's business leaders. It's no accident that the board named FIU's main campus for him. His role has changed but remains vital. He's executive director and professor of management of the FIU Center for Leadership in the College of Business Administration and holds a chair named for another of tonight's honorees. He's the Alva H. Chapman Jr. Eminent Scholar in Leadership. Since the days we were starting Miami Day, and even before Mitch arrived in South Florida, I had valued his camping advice. A true legend, Modesto Bigney.
I solemnly pledge that by the time the 40th anniversary comes and we honor 40 new legends, I will help Marty Martin to raise the money to get a proper sound system. I want to also thank Miami Today, my good friends at Miami Today, Carmen and Michael, for having this wonderful meeting of some of my closest friends. I don't see him often enough. I saw Cal there, and I said, Cal, what a great opportunity to see you. What a great opportunity to see some of the people. I admire everyone. As a matter of fact, I know every one of the people on this list. It was part of my job to know them. But I think that to have so many of you together, people, that I have just the greatest admiration, like the ideal public servant, Bob Grant, the true legend here, Mary Spearheim. I told Mary I'm a junior legend is a legend at all. You're a senior legend. I wasn't talking about age. I was talking about achievement. Actually, it's a game we played. What hasn't Mary Spearheim led? And you say, Miami? No. County? No. School board? No. So it's a wonderful opportunity to meet with so many, of my friends. And my only disappointment for tonight was that Armando Medina was so brief. You see, Armando Medina brings a level of humor. In fact, I thought he was honored for his legendary humor, but then I didn't hear about that in his. But I thought that he should have spoken more because, I think that Armando is unique, in that sense and in many other senses. So it's great to be here among so many friends, among so many people that I admire, people that I want to be like, I want to grow up. It's great to have this opportunity, and I thank Miami Today, for making this possible. And I particularly, I thought Armando would be honored for his legendary humor. I thought I would be honored for my legendary wife. And Becky can stand up and say hello. I am the fortunate husband of someone who is beautiful and great. So thank you very much for all of you. Thank you to Miami Today. This has been a wonderful event, and the greatest thing is that I get to see among so many of my friends and so many of you that I really and truly admire. Thank you.
Although you stole my entire speech about America, that's Manny Medina, founder and managing partner of Medina Capital, has, like Dr. Medici, changed careers. He was a CPA with PricewaterhouseCoopers, who, when I met him, was CEO of real estate developer Terramark. He then transitioned Terramark from the bricks and mortar development world to follow changes in technology, and Terramark worldwide made its mark in information technology until he later sold it to 2011 to Verizon. Now he heads Medina Capital, which invests in companies engaged in cloud computing. I get older, I'm going to figure out what cloud computing is. Among his awards have been the J. Molina Award, which we hear again at the Bacon Council, the Global Entrepreneur of the Year from St. Thomas University, the Claude Pepper Community Builder Lifetime Achievement Award, the South Florida Entrepreneur of the Year from Florida International University, the Hall of Fame Award from his alma mater, Florida Atlantic University, and the Good to Great Award for the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce. Please welcome Manny.
Thank you very much, Michael, Carmen. Congratulations for 30 years. When Carmen called me and told me about being included in the 30 legends, and I saw the others, I know for sure she would make a mistake, because I'm humble. I don't really all of you that have done so much for this community. Ivan Hernandez, the pitcher for the Marlins, he didn't speak English, but he did learn a few words very quickly. That was instructive. Miami is for me. Thank you.
Taking that course, he was born in Tallahassee, but has spent most of his lifetime here. The Miami Edison grad attended Miami-Dade Community College, so many of us did. He started in football at the University of Florida, then started for 13 seasons for the Miami Dolphins. Since then, he's remained in the spotlight for philanthropic and humanitarian causes and for his media work. He's founder of the National Foundation, Senior Advisor to the CEO and Senior Vice President of Alumni Relations and Special Project for the Dolphins, a broadcast analyst for Dolphins preseason games, an analyst for Sun Sports, Executive Director of the Pro Bowl Youth Football Clinics. He's a board member of SunTrust, serves on the Orange Bowl Committee, and serves on the boards of the Family Christian Association of America, SMF Energy Corporation, and the South Florida Gulf Foundation. For his efforts, he's received the Byron White Humanitarian Award, a Miami legend on and off the field network.
side for over 37 years. Love you. I'm humble, but I also want to say thank you to all of you in here. I am honored to go in with you. So many of you pick up the phone whenever I call. You know, the one thing I've learned about being out in the community and being out in football is that the community is no different than a football team. It's only as good as the strongest as well as its weakest link. And because of what you do, and because of how much you care, the passion you have for South Carolina, especially Miami, that's why we're one of the best cities, if not the best city in America. Thank you.
At Miami-Dade College, Dr. Eduardo Padron presides over the nation's largest student body, more than 174,000 students. Through this college has long been the educator of this community. Carmen and I both attended classes there. Under Dr. Padron has achieved national prominence. Dr. Padron, who arrived from Cuba at age 15, attended the college himself and taught economics. Since 1995, he's been president, transforming the college and education, expanding it exponentially, and building such star power activities as the Miami International Film Festival and the Miami International Book Fair. In outside activities, he's immediate past board chair of the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlantic in Miami, and he also chairs the White House Fellows Selection Panel. Multitude of honors include Floridian of the Year for Florida Tramp, and honors from the governments of Argentina, France, and Spain. A good friend and a legendary educator, Dr. Eduardo Padron.
Michael, Garvin, whatever I have done to deserve this great recognition is due in great part to the great support that I have received from you and so many of you here today. Thank you very much.
While Eduardo has spent a lifetime in education, our Manure Parks turned a passion for history of her birthplace into an educational enterprise as president of Arbor Parks and Company and the Centennial Press. Nobody has researched more about Miami quite consciously. If you think the city founded in 1896 has no history, our Manure Parks will beg to differ with you on that, I am sure. There was no job created, no job title here labeled our historian. Arpa simply created that job herself. She chaired the Coral Gables Historic Preservation Board and led efforts to buy the Barrack House and to preserve the Biltmore as well. She recently was acting director and chief curator of the Coral Gables Museum. She's written more than 30 books, which you need to read, like Marty's book. You need to read her books as well. Including Miami the Magic City, which is the official book of the city of Miami's official history. Her honors include the presidential appointment to the Federal Advisory Council on Historic Preservation. She's a member of the Women's Hall of Fame of both the city of Miami and of Florida, and a very good friend of Arbor Parks.
Thank you, Michael and Carmen, and today. I'm truly humbled and honored to be with so many people that I have known and admired for so many years and have written about. I love Miami. I love Miami today.
His projects as chairman and CEO of the related group are too numerous to even begin to cite. But he's also given back to the county he came to in 1968. He's the lead donor of the Jorge M. Perez Art Museum of Miami-Dade County that is now rising on the bay next to a museum across other affiliations include a trusteeship at the University of Miami, the board of the Miami Art Museum, chairmanship of the Miami-Dade Arts and Cultural Affairs Council, and a former board member of the National Endowment for the Arts. He's been named Developer of the Year by the Latin Builders, Entrepreneur of the Year by Ernst & Young. He received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Urban Land Institute. And he received the Distinguished Alumnus Award from my alma mater, University of Michigan. Jorge Perez.
Thank you again, Captain Michael. Congratulations for 30 years of providing us with a great local newspaper. We all look forward to reading your paper and seeing what's happening in Miami. It's really an honor in this lean group of 30 people. It really means a lot to see people that I've known for many, many years and respect very much. So it's humbling and an honor. Thank you very, very much.
Ileana Ross Lakeman, who once was owner and operator of a private school here, has served Florida's 27th congressional district since 1989 in Congress, and is the most senior Republican woman in the House. She was the first Hispanic woman and the first Cuban American elected to Congress. Born in Havana, she came here at age 7. She received a bachelor's and master's in education from FIU, a PhD at the U of M, was elected to the Florida House in 1982, where she met Dexter Latham. They got married in 1985 after he switched parties. Both served in the State House until 1986, when both were elected to the State Senate. In 1988, he resigned to become a U.S. Attorney. In 1989, she resigned after Claude Pepper passed away, and she won a special election to the seat. She's been in Washington ever since. We'll probably be saying that in our 60th anniversary. Ileana serves as chairman of the subcommittee of the Middle East and North Africa, as a member of the House Committee on Rules. She's truly an influential Miami. Welcome, Representative Ross.
Thank you so very much for bestowing upon me the greatest honor that you can, the opportunity to represent this magical city in the United States Congress. Thank you so much. And Jay, probably the best thing you ever did was not getting that congressional gig. I think your life turned out pretty well. And Marie Claret is usually always right, but you mentioned a few public officials, but you forgot to mention one gentleman who's very important to me because he's the reason that I registered to vote in order to vote for him. Paul Sejas is also an elected official.
When I think about public administration, I think about one man who's already been mentioned tonight, Merrick Spearheim. Merrick's been, as we know, Miami-Dade manager, Miami City manager, Miami Lakes manager, president and CEO of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, CEO of the Women's Tennis Association, president and CEO of the Collins Center for Public Policy, superintendent of the Miami-Dade County Schools, president and CEO of the Zoological Society of Florida. Sure, I have to stop now, I'm running out of breath. But there are a lot of them. He's never been a facialist administrator either. In government, he carried out policies of elected officials that made sure they never intruded into operations or pushed president of our Heinkel Associates, a senior associate with the Government Services Group of the state of Florida, and a certified circuit mediator of the Florida Supreme Court. And who knows what job he's going to have tomorrow. Fittingly, he's received my today's Lifetime Achievement Award and now a legend.
Which clearly demonstrates that I can't keep a job. I want to begin by complimenting Congress Michael today, 33 years. And I acknowledge what's already been said, and that is there's so much in that newspaper that we would not otherwise know. It really provided great service to this community. And I want to thank all of the legends and those that are not with us that we are honoring, because you all individually in your capacities really dedicated a major part of your life to this community. And that's a wonderful sacrifice. I want to thank my wife, Judy Cannon, who has stood by me through all the travails, fun and games that we've had. Congratulations to you and to all of the other honorees. It's a privilege to be here, and I feel very honored. Thank you.
Bob Troy arrived in Miami 80 years ago from Connecticut and helped create here one of the great law firms of the nation, Greenberg Troy. The firm he founded now has 29 offices, more than 1,800 attorneys. In the process, Mr. Troy has been instrumental in the growth of both the firm and Miami. He received a bachelor's in business from the University of Miami in 1947, a law degree there in 1950. As a lawyer, I don't think anybody ever knew anything more about land use. He's been a leader with numerous civic and charitable organizations. Chairman Emeritus of the Florida Grand Opera, a member of the Citizens Board of the University of Miami, a director of the Greater Miami Jewish Federation, a trustee of Beth David, a past chairman of the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce. He's received the Friends of Israel Humanitarian Award, the Greater Miami Chamber's top honor, Sand in My Shoes Award, and the Silver Medallion for the National Conference of Christians and Jews. Bob Troy is a true legend.
John here. I'm my wife Jack. And later, convocation, I my children. And I thank you for being here and sharing with us this wonderful occasion. I am delighted to be among the honorees at this event. And I thank you for allowing me to do so.
In 1987, the Harrison family brought Mr. Trilson Thomas here to become founding artistic director of the New World Center, an orchestral academy for gifted young musicians whose mission is to prepare highly gifted graduates of distinguished music programs for leadership in orchestras and ensembles around the world. He played an instrumental role in the development of the Frank Gehry designed New World Center in Miami Beach. What a wonderful facility that is. From 1988 to 1995, Mr. Trilson Thomas was principal conductor of the London Symphony Orchestra, and he now is principal guest conductor. He's been named both Musician of the Year and Conductor of the Year by Musical America and Artist of the Year by Gramophone Magazine. Howard Herrick of the New World Symphony will accept the honor of Mr. Trilson Thomas.
Michael says hello. He's leaving from Vienna Philharmonic on a tour of Russia just now. He'll be back with us, and that's 2 weeks in April. If he were here, he would tell you how proud he is to be part of the building of this city, as all of us in the world are. To build a great city, you've got to keep going. Thank you.
Dr. Sandra Ziff's name is his wife. I'm sorry, Sandra. See, I'm beginning of the alphabet. I know how you feel about these things. He's widely known as Eddie in Miami, both as the founder, chairman, and CEO of Sunglass Hut of America, and as a major donor to causes that bear his name. Think of the Ziff Ballet Opera House at the Arch Center, the Sanford L. Ziff Graduate Career Center at the U of M School of Business, the Ziff Family Education Building at FIU, and the Sanford L. Ziff Health Centers at Nova Southeastern University. There are a couple of universities you haven't gotten there, and we have to fill in those gaps. His contributions to arts and education have won him the Florida Art Recognition Award, Humanitarian Award of the Year from Ben A. Griff, the Joseph Wharton Business Statesman Award from the Wharton School in Pennsylvania, the 10 Good Event Honors from Ronald McDonald House, the Arts Hero Award from the Arts and Business Council of Miami, the Lifetime Achievement Award from FIU, and more. And no Miami event seems complete with Dr. Ziff and his wife Beatrice aren't there. Sandy, thank you.
Have us pass the microphone. So wonderful to see so many of our good friends and speakers tonight. It's a wonderful night. And not only my wife speakers, but my daughter, please stand, and Cindy Ziff, and my granddaughter. I didn't see Dean. Is Dean here? Dean, good boys. So wonderful. They joined from Colorado one day early from state to be here. And congratulations, Michael and Carmesita, for the wonderful job that the both of you do and your staff. Miami today. I love reading it. You get news and local news and important news for Miami today that you don't get in any other paper. And I am very humbled to be here tonight. So many friends. It's really a pleasure. And I am so looking forward to the next 30 years. Miami today, and with my being there. And if you saw me the other night in a white suit, I want you to know it's a different one. Campbell has 7, I have 17. So, that takes care of wherever we go, morning, noon, morning, day, or night. Thank you so much, everyone. It's wonderful being with so many friends in one night. It's a blessing. Thank you.
capital of the world owes much to one man, Ted Harrison, who after a number of successful ventures opted to retire in Miami. He didn't, of course, retire. Instead, he took over a passenger cruise shipping company that didn't happen to have a ship. He cut a deal for a ship. Norwegian Caribbean Lines was born. In 1972, he acquired the Mardi Gras, and Carnival Cruise Lines was born to grow to the giant it is today. But he had more facets in business. With his wife, Lynn, the former aspiring pianist founded the National Foundation for Advancement in the Arts, which is now Young Arts, to encourage and validate young artists. Out of this grew the New World Symphony. In 1988, he introduced the Miami Heat basketball team here as its majority owner. In 1986, he was designated Florida Ambassador of the Arts, and in 2001, he was inducted posthumously to the Florida Tourism Hall of Fame veterans. Aviation pioneer and entrepreneur George E. Batchelor was also one of Miami's foremost philanthropists. After learning to fly at age 16, he became a decorated transport and bomber pilot during World War II. He was in his 20s when he helped design the North American Aviation P-51 Mustang. Mr. Batchelor bought and sold his first aircraft in 1947, launching a long career. By the time he came to Miami in 1964, he was well known as an aircraft trader. After relaunching Aero Air in Miami, he invested in new enterprises. Soon, Batchelor was recognized as a leading aircraft maintenance facility, and International Air Leases became a very famous aircraft trading name. Mr. Batchelor gave a leadership gift of $10 million to establish the U of M Batchelor Children's Research Institute. The Batchelor Foundation provided gifts to aid children in the environment. Among recipients were the U of M, Miami Children's Hospital, Zoo Miami, Audubon, and Community Partnership for the Homeless, now known as the Chapman Partnership, in honor of another of our Miami legends, George Batchelor. The Art Deco buildings of Miami Beach would have been lost forever without Barbara Bear Capital. In Miami Today's first issue in 1983, she wrote a column pleading to save the buildings, saying that South Beach, which was then in steep decline, if you can imagine that, could actually lure younger tourists and younger residents who would revive the area. The column drew laughs, but she made it happen. She left the background in media and advertising when she came here in the 1970s, I'm sorry. And soon she turned her attention to saving South Beach. She helped set up the Miami Design Preservation League to save the structures, and chained herself to condemn buildings to halt the wrecking ball. She organized an Art Deco weekend to focus on the area. That festival now brings 300,000 visitors a year. Soon the Art Deco district became the first 20th century neighborhood on the Miami Register of National Historic Places. At her death in 1990, she was president of the International Coalition of Art Deco Societies. South Beach owes its good looks and part of its legacy to Barbara Bear Capital. We'll hear more about that legacy in a moment. Alva H. Chapman Jr. was one of a kind. Conversations about civic issues to this day focus on what would Alva say about them. What would he arrived here in 1960 on the day construction began on the Miami Herald. You know that's the one they're about to tear down. In less than a decade, he became the newspaper's president. 2 years after helping merge Knight Ridder Publications, he became CEO of Knight Ridder, then the nation's largest newspaper publication. Later, he became its chairman. In his high school yearbook, he was called the most dependable. That pressing issues, he created the Down Group that initiated a $2 billion renewal of downtown. After Hurricane Andrew, he launched We Will Rebuild. A year later, he founded the Community Partnership for the Homeless, which is now the Chapman Partnership. In 2001, he chaired the Governor's Commission on Homeless that helped gain a 1% food and beverage tax to feed the homeless. A former Knight River colleague called me the other night, very fondly, that Mr. Chapman was often the only person in the room in a meeting to zero in on the single most important point and plan the proper course of action. We remember fondly tonight Alvin Chapman. Let's also remember another Miami legend from South Beach here. Tony Goldman didn't like being called a fellow. He thought of himself as a long-term investor in redevelopment of historic neighborhoods. Miami Beach's Ocean Drive, Miami's Wynwood owe much to that vision. After salvaging New York City's Soho, preservationists invited him here to look at boarded-up Art Deco hotels on Ocean Drive. He bought 18 of them and redeveloped Ocean Drive into a celebrity playground, faithfully restoring not only exteriors but interiors. In 2004, he turned to Wynwood, acquired 25 properties, brought in artists and partnership with children Joey and Jessica, opened Joey's, among the first restaurants in an untested market. The Wynwood Art District is a testament to his vision. In 2010, Mr. Goldman was awarded the National Trust for Historic Preservation's highest honor. He participated personally, chairing Miami Beach's Ocean Drive Association and the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, an investment of his own time for legendary investor Tony Goldman, whose widow Janet and son Joey will accept the valentine.
Tony came to Miami in 1985. He was filled with passion and energy, and those who knew him knew his creativity. And through the years that he spent here, he had a dream to make Miami a much better place for everyone. And he wanted to be remembered. His dreams came true. You're glad of it? Thank you.
Another entrepreneur came to Miami, Jay Molina, at age 25, with degrees in electrical engineering and finance, and on a shoestring, in a small garage, creating Analam Electronics, a pioneer in the manufacture of computerized measuring devices for the machine tool industry. Within 5 years, the firm was in the global market. Mr. Molina also co-founded trade financing company Civic. Civically, he co-founded the Dade Manufacturers Council, which inspired him to do more than he was. He chaired the International Committee of Enterprise Florida, the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, the Executive Committee of the World Trade Center Miami, and the Trade Mission Center of the Americas, which after his death was renamed J. Molina International Trade Consortium. In his most complex civic project with the county's then mayor, Mr. Molina co-chaired One Community, One Goal, the plan for long-term economic stability and better jobs. His prototype is now being recreated in a community-wide effort testament to a legend, Jay Molina. His widow, Janae Sagars, Molina, and daughters Breslin and McKenna will accept the honors.
Thank you, Carmen and Michael. Jay loved my today. He loved to read every week. It was his go-to reading material, as was the my material, of course. And he loved to be back to the community, and he would love to be included in this group, and loved all of you so much. And we're trying to teach my daughters, his daughters, how to get back to the community, and they're very anxious to do so. Thank you very much for your time.
Jorge Espinosa, advisor to 3 U.S. presidents, was a tireless advocate of a democratic Cuba and a prominent figure in local affairs. Soon after Fidel Castro seized power in Cuba, he was forced to leave, and he settled here in Miami. Here he began a career devoted to overthrow the Castro regime. After serving in the U.S. Army, Mr. Espinosa founded Church Tower, a telecommunications company that became a multinational corporation, Moscow, the first Hispanic-owned business on the New York Stock Exchange. His main focus, however, remained Cuba's situation. He established the Cuban American National Foundation, a force behind the Helms-Burton Act of 1996, which tightened the embargo on Cuba. Mr. Espinosa also helped set up Radio RT, the government-financed station broadcasting to Cuba. In 1997, he bought the Freedom Tower, once the processing center for Cuban refugees, and restored it as a monument to Cuban diaspora. This evening, after these remarks, we'll go over the Freedom Tower, a tribute to Mr. Espinosa's vision to continue our celebration. His widow, Irma, will accept the medal. We have another great builder, Leonard Miller, who built not just housing, but communities. He moved here soon after graduation from Harvard in 1955. By the way, you notice how many people that moved here and then stayed here and settled here and built it. They came in 1955 and founded F&R Builders. By 1961, F&R was selling more than 350 homes a year. 11 years later, the company went public, and as Lennar grew to now serve 16 states. Corporate CEO Leonard Miller focused on numerous community organizations and projects, skewed toward his concerns about education. He served on the executive committee of the Florida Council of 100, was a member of the Florida Board of Education K-20 Accountability Advisory Council, and the state's Education Government Reorganization Transition Task Force. He chaired the Board of Trustees at the University of Miami, where the medical school is named in his honor. He was also chairman of the board of the South Florida Annenberg Challenge. But his life was a very balanced life. Sue, his wife, and family were always together. A priority for his family and Miami legend. Very few business leaders have a sense of humor and the common touch of Ted Dennis, who built the Kai's company to a giant of the South after he bought the Kenneth Kai's in 1969. 2,000, more than 50 offices. The in-house training system he built lives on after. From the outset, Kai has been committed to corporate responsibility, tithing 10% of profits to religious and charitable organizations. A 40-year Rotarian, Mr. Papa served on the United Way cabinet, was an elder of the Presbyterian Church of America, and was a founder and board member of Westminster Christian School. He chaired the Bankers Club, the Dade Community Foundation, Mighty Board of Realtors, and South Florida Council of Boy Scouts. About that sense of humor, I fondly remember the notes I had at Paris. They were all signed, they were on Kai's stationery, they were all signed from the head janitor. His widow Maria and son Michael were 7 and a half.
Ted came from Michigan to Miami to get warm. He got sand in his shoes and a vision and a dream in his heart, and he would be so honored to be here tonight in such a distinguished group. And if he were here, what he'd say right now is, hurry up and let's eat.
Henry Reeves arrived in Miami in 1919 to buy printing equipment to take home to the Bahamas. Like a lot of people who arrived here and wasn't planning to stay. Instead, with some friends, he started Magic City Printing. He started a newspaper, but it didn't work out. 4 years later, he started the Miami Times, and the rest is history, as the paper he started thrives under his family. By the 1950s, his son Garth had succeeded him as publisher. By then, the paper had become the voice of the Black community and had outstripped the printing concern as the family's main business. During the Civil Rights Movement, Garth Reeves stepped out of the editorial pages to become personally involved in the struggle to integrate Dade County. It was Dade County. He helped integrate the public golf courses and the beaches. For a decade, Garth Reeves was president of Amalgamated Publishers of New York City and served 2 terms as president of the National Newspaper Publishers. He broke the color barrier as the first Black board member of Miami-Dade Community College, Berry University, the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, and the United Way of Dade County. In a legendary family, we are honored, Garth, to see Reeves, who accepts tonight with his children. Thank you. In that case, I'm honestly not sure if Miami has created all of these great legends, or if all of these great legends have created Miami. It's probably some of both, but aren't we fortunate to have them here in this